Hello heathens and welcome to my channel. I am Beauty Heathen, and generally speaking, my channel is dedicated to the exploration of paganism through the medium of cosmetics. If you enjoy my subject matter or feel my content would be of interest, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and set the bell to all to be notified of when I upload new videos. For anyone who has been following the situation with having issues with my cards, I just recorded the pick a card reading that I am posting on Monday or will have posted on Monday, and it seems like my stubbornness is still causing issues. So for anyone who may be interested, feel free to watch along. For anyone who's not interested in watching me try to figure out what in the hell is going on with my cards, feel free to skip this video. This is just for anyone who may have been following the situation up until this point and may have seen my venting video from last week, where I was having some sincere difficulties with at least two of my decks. So, alright, I give up. Tell me what you have to tell me. I highly suspect that this may have to deal with my twin flame. If you haven't seen my video on twin flames, I will link it up here. But in that, I go into a bit talking about how twin flames aren't necessarily people that you're meant to be with in every lifetime, and generally speaking, the real meaning and the real reason why a twin flame may come into your life is to cause change. And it's a very, very difficult relationship. It is a very, very difficult dynamic. And if you have not experienced it, when I say that it beats the ever-loving hell out of you, yeah, it's an understatement. So, in the last pick a card that I will have posted yesterday when I post this, I had some cards start to seem to pop out and come to the surface again. So I never did sit off camera and ask what it is it has to tell me, what it is it was trying to tell me. And this week I've just continued being a bit stubborn as to being receptive with messages. One thing that I have said to many people is when the universe is guiding you down a certain path, it will send you signs. It will, and it frequently happens in threes. I have said this many times to people I've been acquaintanced with over the years, and some have listened, some have not. Those who have listened frequently find they have an easier time than those who have ignored what I've had to say, and I am saying this from complete and total experience that when the universe is trying to get a message through to you, the more you take on the mentality of la 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 la, I can't hear you, the far more likely the universe is going to keep kicking your butt. And the far more likely it is not going to let you rest until you finally just surrender and let it guide you the way that it is supposed to, in the way that it is trying to do so. And I've been noticing that as I've been increasingly resistant to things, the more things start happening. Like, I'm one who doesn't often get sick, but I've been feeling a bit under the weather today. And the universe has this habit of beating you within an inch of your life until you finally just say, okay, tell me what it is you need to tell me, show me what it is you want me to do, and I will listen. So I am going to draw these cards and see what comes up, and we will see. Oh my goodness. Now, you watched me shuffle these cards. Yep. All the same cards are coming up again. That definitely happened. Patience always comes up. Awareness. Balance. That's also the number 11. 11 is the sign of twin flames. Foundation and success. Wisdom, or foundation and achievements. That has to do with me. Well, it also pertains to the situation, but I'll get into that in a minute. Patience and planning, twice it has come up. Intuition, stand your ground, sacral chakra. Yep. Discontent and boredom. Third eye, rest and rejuvenate, solar plexus chakra, authority. Hearing to pull one more, power. Okay, so let me go through with what I went through with my twin flame in order to best kind of put this into scheme of things. A few years ago, I was going through a profoundly difficult time. For anyone who follows me on social media, I will have spoken about before how I was helping to caregive my grandmother the last years of her life. And during that time, I had been, for the past few years before this time, followed each and every single guidance that they tell you to do when you're trying to attract love. And no matter what I did, nothing was working. At all. Finally, one day, I don't know how to put it, other than I can say it was a moment of divine guidance, I guess you could say. And I didn't understand, and I was very confused, and I was like, I have I've always been a very deeply spiritual person. I've been always a person who has tended to do more for others than she does for herself. And I was confused and I was hurt, and to be honest, I was quite frustrated and angry with the universe, because I'm like, with all that I do for you, with all that I have done to try to do what you ask of me and do what you call for me to do, this one thing that I ask for, you're not giving me. And something just told me that what I was doing, the rituals to call upon love, not in any way, make, shape, or form that was manipulative of a person, but just to put this idea out into the universe of the kind of person that I wanted, wasn't the right kind of ritual for me to do. And this one night I just had this moment of absolute surrender. And I got out my candle. I put in the energy that I wanted. And I said, okay. I surrender. Obviously, what I have put out into the world is not what I should have been doing. That what they guide you to do so oftentimes with picturing the kind of person you want, picturing what kind of traits you want them to have, not necessarily physically, but personality-wise or spirituality-wise, that wasn't the way for me to go. And I just said, okay. Obviously, this isn't the kind of person that I should be calling forward, so I surrender. And I remember standing in my kitchen just going, okay, I know that my grandmother's time is coming up. And with all of the difficulty and everything that I'm currently enduring, I know I can't face this alone. And I give up. I surrender. All I ask is that you bring the person that I'm meant to be with. I don't care what they look like. I don't care what their religion is, what their race is, if they are from a different country or culture, speak a different language, if they're rich, if they're poor. I don't care. I work. If it's somebody who's homeless, I work and I'll figure a way how to support us. I don't mind. But all I ask is that you bring to me the person that I'm meant to be with. Because I know what I'm going through. And I know what I'm dealing with. I can no longer face alone. And I just got this feeling that my request was answered, but it wasn't going to come without some form of challenges. And that is 100% the truth of the matter. Um, the situation has been very difficult. It is one that beats the ever-loving crap out of you. It tears you down. It makes you face the things that you do not want to face, and it forces you to deal with the things that you may have not been dealing with up until this point. And now granted, when you draw cards, they're not always in the order of things, but it just, the timing was wrong. The timing was off. And with all that this person and I both tried, it just was pretty apparent that whatever was going on, it wasn't meant to be, at least wise in that time frame. But I separated for about 3 months for a while, ended up going back. But it still wasn't time yet. Even though I had done a lot of the things that I needed to do, I knew that he still had to deal with things on his own, and because I tend to be a very protective person, that my energy and just in being who I am was likely stopping him from doing what he needed to do and experiencing what he needed to experience in order to grow and evolve as a person, both spiritually and mature. Because he is younger than I am, which ironically is something that personally I never wanted. I wanted someone who was at least around my age or a few years older than me. This ties in with the whole twin flame thing, with them being the opposite of, they are your mirror. You may have a lot of things in common, but they are frequently your opposite. He's very physically fit. I am not presently. He is very religious. I am more spiritual. But one thing I was always grateful for was that was never something that he seemed to care about. At least was not in the scheme of that was a no-go. It may have been something that he may struggle with. I'm not gonna lie, because I know religion is likely a factor, because when I say he is religious, I mean he is religious, or at least he was, last I knew. But these relationships come with obstacles and challenges. I had to emotionally withdraw from him in around September of 2018 and leave. I had to pull back. I had to pull my energy back. I had to separate and just say, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I'm hurting myself by being there, being all in a situation that I know he's not prepared for. And I had to go through this rest and rejuvenate process. During that time, I had to deal with a lot of discontent. Not necessarily boredom so much as trying to rebuild and find my own way. I've had to deal with healing my own chakras, which is something that I always have to deal with, and rebuilding my intuition, because I'm not gonna lie. When I say I curse the universe, I mean it. I was angry. I was so angry that the one thing I'd ever asked for, I felt betrayed. You know, it's kind of like when people may be dealing with their own stuff and they pray and pray and pray to God to help them, and things look up for a bit and then all of a sudden the rug is swept out from underneath you. That's how I felt. But it looks like and I felt deceived. Not gonna lie, when other people around me were getting in relationships or showing happiness in their relationships, I did feel envious and I felt hurt and all of that kind of stuff. And there was a disruption. Absolutely was. But I stepped away. I focused on myself. I grieved for a very long time. And as you can probably hear, it's still something that hurts. Heartache and loss. But I had to do it. I had to walk away. I had to leave him alone. Even if it was destined. Every part of me has said that we were meant to come together and be together. Even though I know that twin flames don't always get together in every lifetime. I knew that. I knew that it, especially back then, was something that I needed to hear, and it was something that I needed to hold on to that message in order to force myself to separate and move forward. Because I needed to focus on myself. I needed to not hold on with such a tight fist. I needed to regain my intuition. See, I had 2 of those cards pop up. And until I started this channel, I haven't done much magically or anything in over a year. Minus a couple things here and there, but mainly it was healing stuff and things of that nature, because I was holding on to too much pain and sorrow to feel like I could do anything, and I was too angry and I was too hurt. But around the time that I started following the beauty world, I started to find my sense of self again. I started to dive into things that I wasn't previously interested in. I'm not gonna lie, when the last time I was ever really interested in anything with regarding the beauty industry in any way, make, shape, or form was probably when I was in high school and I was contemplating going into fashion. And I had designed a couple of my own dresses. I had was looking into things of that nature, and just as I kept going, I realized how competitive that world is, and I was like, that's not for me. Because I tend to be the type of person who is less about competing with others than I am about lifting others up. Because have always felt that the universe is omnipresent, and it's not just about one person winning. We can all win in our own ways. And because of that, especially when it comes to the people I communicate with and follow, and I see, especially on social media, Twitter especially, I'm constantly cheering them on because I want us all to succeed in our own ways. And through that, I regained a sense of balance. I started to find forgiveness and reclaim awareness. And it has given me something else to hold on to and something else to work toward. This channel and everything that I'm doing is giving me something else to do. It's helping me reclaim my power. It is... I don't know how authority fits into this, but it's helped me reconnect with the universe and really start to I've started to find my way back into my spirituality, I guess you could say. And I had, mind you, when I walked away back in September of 2018, I blocked him everywhere. I blocked him on all social medias, and it was especially hard because I'm really friendly with and deeply care about a couple of his friends. And I definitely didn't want to shut that door, but I had to close many doors, especially for the first several months until I was able to gain some sort of equilibrium. And only in recent months, since I've let go of the anger and the pain, have I started to regain my equilibrium, and I said, you know what? I'm not angry anymore. Let me start unblocking people. And it wasn't done so much out of anger towards him. It was because I was angry at the universe. I was angry at the world. And in order to disconnect energy-wise from him, I had to stop myself from constantly checking on his social medias and doing all that kind of stuff, because all that kept doing was kept the wound open and festering like this sore that couldn't heal. And by blocking myself from being able to see all that kind of stuff and see his social media, it allowed me to move forward. And it allowed me to regain my sense of self. And it seems like because I did that, although he's not ready yet, Patience came up twice. It looks like motion has moved forward. It says love begins and spiritual union, which is a twin flame card. For me anyway. It looks like things are, again, accelerated motion, positive movement forward, triumph, all that kind of stuff. It looks like it's starting to move towards a reunion. But I know he's not ready yet. It's something that I sense, and it's something that I'm channeling in on my own intuition. Stand your ground. I'm standing my ground until I feel that he's ready. I'm not gonna show up again. Leastwise, not anytime soon. But let me see if my intuition is correct. I'm pulling out the romance cards. And what do you have to tell me? Is my intuition correct? I did say in that twin flame video that I didn't think we'd ever get back together, and I 100% stand behind that. I didn't. I was fully prepared to spend the rest of my life with my pets, you know, eventually becoming an old cat lady with living alone and all that kind of stuff, which, even though my friends and people kept saying, no, there's still somebody coming, there's still love coming back into your life, I was like, I don't know. And while this could very well be somebody new, that's not the sense that I'm getting. And even the readings that I've been doing on pick-a-cards, ay, ay, ay. Well, that just kind of spoke. Pull one more. And that one's going to be the hard one for me right here. Trust. Yeah. And that one's not just about the universe. That one's about him too, because I felt like my trust got broken with that situation as well. And I don't really want to go into the minutia of why or what happened and all that kind of stuff. It just, I was deeply hurt. And it says, stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. Yes, there is. Twin flames are very, extremely magnetic with one another. It very much encompasses that movie, cinema type love where you're in a room crowded with people and yet the only person you can see is that person. It's very much like that. Passion, allow your heart and soul to sing with joy, which, if you don't follow me on social media, I am a musician. And one thing I have not done, especially since all of this, is I have not done a single thing musically. I haven't been writing the music. I haven't continued writing music like I was doing. I haven't been singing really all that much. I haven't felt that passion that I was feeling. So keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type or expectations. That was extremely true. That was extremely true. And then trust. The situation is calling on for you to have faith, which is an extremely hard thing for me to do. Okay. This one keeps calling out to me, so this is a brand new deck out of the box. I used it for the first time in the pick a card readings that I just did, and it was a very talkative deck. So we'll see what it has to say to me. And when the situation has been coming up that because I watch pick a card readings as well. I watched one actually today that when I watched it, I was like, well, that's accurate as hell when it comes to me, but it wasn't so clear as to his side of things, because it was like, how are you in the situation? How are they in the situation? Yep. Okay, the world. And contract is interesting. Hang on a sec. It looks like I flipped. I don't read inversions when it comes to oracle cards. It looks like when I put some cards back after the... Let me put that one back in, because I'm not sure that one was for me. I put them in inverted, so give me a second. If it is meant for me, it'll come back up to the surface, so we will find out. Huh. Okay, I didn't expect that one, but okay. All tied up is the connection, bringing balance. Adjacent possibilities. I don't think that has to do with love. I think that has to do with maybe career. Let me look up that card, because this is still a very new deck, and it's not one that I'm... Sorry, I live on a busy street, so there is background noise. Okay. Sometimes the force of habit keeps you stuck and unaware of potentially healthier and happier choices at hand. Yet every moment gives you the option to open a different door and take a different course, whether it's your thoughts, behaviors, or major life decisions. Unlike the indecision card, which indicates confusion and vacillation about which course to take, the adjacent possibilities card is here to tell you that you have many options and it's time to take a wider look at things. As you consider the many life choices available, you'll feel more and more empowered and motivated to make the decisions that bring happiness, strength, and forward motion. In terms of goals, this card could indicate unknown and previously unconsidered ideas. Perhaps there's a marketing tool you haven't thought of, a connection you haven't tapped, or even an entirely different direction that would be more suited to you. Be conscious, be aware, and be flexible and willing to take new and different action now. Which really could have to do with many things. Happy family is kind of self-explanatory. And see, this is where I kind of made the error. I said, what do you have to tell me versus what do you have to tell me about the situation? See, this is where intention and energy really makes a difference. Yeah, a lot of these are talking about internet and social marketing. These two may have to do with my channel, interestingly enough, about changing direction. Healer of the Age is kind of self-explanatory. Be family, Angel of Balance, all kind of coincide with cards I've already pulled. Let's see. Let me call upon this one. What do you have to tell me about the situation in front of me with regards to the twin flame issue? Here we go. Maybe I'll go back to the other one and try that one again. I'm sorry, this one is being a little long. You know what? Hang on a sec. Let me shuffle that a bit more. I did have to use this deck in one of the pick a card readings, and I didn't shuffle it well after I did it. Okay. I craft my core desires. Play what is my pathway to joy. And proper rest helps me feel and look my best. So this is telling me that I still have a way to go too. That I need to still... It looks like while I'm being patient, I have to still focus on me and my channel, what it is I'm doing. Is there anything that you have to tell me regarding the situation? It seems like since I'm surrendering, the energy may finally be dissipating. We will see. I did not use this deck in the pick-a cards. Nothing really called upon it being used, so let's see what it has to say. Okay. Dream Wisdom, Clarity. Ancient Wisdom is Awakening. Heed Wide Counsel. Justice will prevail. Well, justice has to do with what's fair is fair. So the two that keep coming up are Dreamcatcher and Clarity. So that makes sense. Let me pull the Gaia deck and then I'll go back to the energy one more time, just in case it was what I was saying versus the cards themselves. And that has nothing to do with you didn't tell me what I wanted to hear. It has more to do with I was looking for clarity on the specific situation. Although that card, the Dragon Fae, told me clarity is coming, so yeah, get in there. That's my fault again. I used this deck and I did not I'm supposed to do this part, not just shuffle the other thing. Because those were coming up with the exact same cards that I had given other people. Now I'll shuffle one more time. Today's been one of those days where I wasn't feeling very well, so... Yay! Stop it! Because of that, I'm not necessarily reminding to do everything. Telling me to stay creative. Travel, romance, potential. Here we go. The dream, something revealed, insight, breakthrough. Winter's end, regeneration, rebirth, positive outcome. Could literally be winter's end, meaning in spring. We'll see. And I'll keep you guys informed as to if anything updates. So, tell me specifically about the situation at hand, please. To make sure that it's properly shuffled. Adjacent possibilities came up again. The world came up again. First chakra, Archangel Michael, who happens to be my pinnacle archangel. Whenever I'm in trouble, I call upon him. So let's see what else. Seriously. Okay. So what it had to tell me, it had to tell me. Yin and Yang also. Attachment. Contract came up again. So I don't know. I don't know if this has to deal with the situation or just something has to do with that situation. I have no idea. Time will reveal itself. Anyway, this has gone on way too long. And I'm sure it's been boring as hell. But I wanted to thank you for walking this path with me if you stuck through it. If anyone was curious as to what was coming up, here we go. And with all of that said, I wish you love, I wish you joy, I wish you kindness, I wish you prosperity, I wish you happiness, I wish you love, and most of all, I wish you brightest blessings. And until next time, blessed be.